I talk to a lot of people about artificial intelligence, and the same question comes up in every single conversation. Will AI steal my job? Well, my favorite science story this week is an optimistic answer to that question.
Let me start by just saying a few things that seem obvious. I think if you work as a radiologist, you're like the coyote that's already over the edge of the cliff, but hasn't yet looked down, so doesn't realize there's no ground underneath him. People should stop training radiologists now. It's just completely obvious that within 5 years, deep learning is going to do better than radiologists, because it's going to be able to get a lot more experience. It might be 10 years, but we've got plenty of radiologists already.
That was Dr. Geoffrey Hinton. He won the Nobel Prize for his work developing artificial intelligence. And that video is from 2016, when it was very clear to him and to others that radiologists, the doctors who are expert at looking at x-rays and telling a person whether or not they have cancer or something else wrong with them, that their jobs were in danger because AI, it turned out, was very, very good at doing exactly that job. And so all this training that these doctors got was for naught, because if a computer can do it, why have those doctors around? But this article that just came out in the New York Times checks in on the field of radiology and shows that in the test case of the Mayo Clinic, which is this great institution in Rochester, Minnesota, radiologists are doing just fine. In fact, there are 55% more radiologists today working there than there were in 2016 when Geoffrey Hinton said that radiologists should just quit. And it's not just the present that looks good, the future looks good too. A paper came out just 4 months ago showing that the projection for radiologists in the US is that there are going to be somewhere between 25 and 40% more of them in the next 30 years. So we definitely still need radiologists. How can that be? Well, when the New York Times digs into what happens at the Mayo Clinic, what they find is that radiologists have a big job that has a lot of different parts. Yes, they're very good at looking at x-rays, but they also, advise other doctors, they talk to patients, they write reports, they analyze medical records, they do all these specialized jobs. And it's not that they're competing against AI, but they've found ways to become more efficient thanks to AI. The article tells the story of one doctor who has to estimate the volume of a kidney as part of how she does her work. And that's something that used to take her 15 to 30 minutes every single time she did it. Now she clicks a button on her desktop and has AI do it. She gets that number and she can move forward with the other parts of her job. And in fact, what the Mayo Clinic has done is to build up its AI capacity, to really lean into those tools to make their radiologists more effective. Not only do they have more than 400 people, working as radiologists there, but they also have a staff of 40 people working in radiology's AI department, building tools specifically for those radiologists so they could be more effective. So I think this is kind of a glimpse of how AI might make the world better for people with specialized knowledge. I'm really optimistic about it. I don't think that AI is just going to come in and become the expert. I think it's going to become an extension of the experts who still are needed, especially when it comes to human interactions. I mean, listen, it's fine to use a computer to interact with a bank when you need to withdraw money, but you don't want to be interacting with a computer when you have lung cancer. You want to be interacting with a doctor who cares. And if AI can free up those doctors to spend more time with patients, providing the kind of human care that only a human can provide, then these tools are just making the world better. So anyway, that's my favorite article this week. I love it because it's a nice optimistic look at how our lives are going to be changed by AI. And there are a lot of people that love to shout pessimism. We see now that Geoffrey Hinton was wrong in 2016, at least about the next 9 years. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't really know. Nobody does, but I like the optimism. So that's my favorite science story this week. I have 4 more. If you want to know about them, you should sign up for my newsletter. It's called The Bat Signal. Just go to followthebatsignal.com. Sign up.